This short video will introduce you to a new way of building handcrafted, full scribe fit log homes called accelerated log building. Accelerated log building is much faster and also much safer than traditional one log at a time style log construction. The orange machines hold the logs in place while they're scribed. Each new log is put on the top of the stack and then can be positioned quickly by rotating it, pushing it left and right, up and down, to prepare it for scribing. Getting each new log in the right position is easy because the log doesn't touch the logs below. It's held only on the orange arms. So here I'm rotating a log to get the bow out. Next, as always with log building, we want to get the gap between the new log, the log on top, and the log below more even. The arm has two adjustments. Here I'm adjusting the height of the log. You can see that I'm lowering it. The goal is to have an even shape gap between these two logs. Here's a close-up on a log piece. The height is being adjusted so the gap is even. The logs don't need to be rough-notched. Now that the gap between them is fairly even, I'm going to adjust the log's position in and out on the wall. The second screw on each arm quickly moves the log in or out on the wall. We've got the center of the wall drawn on the floor. So we'll plumb the center line of this new log so it's directly over the center line on the floor. With the new log in position, the next step is to set a pair of scribers to scribe the lateral groove. Now this may look like a big scribe setting, but staff quickly learn how to scribe large scribe settings accurately. The initial nervousness is overcome very quickly, and accuracy is no problem. Accelerated log building is faster and safer because the building, even a two-story building, never gets taller than about 5 feet while you're scribing the logs. The workers keep their feet on the ground. After the new laterals are scribed, then you scribe the corner notches. These notch settings are quite a bit smaller, usually only about half the size of the lateral settings.
You had great control with that pistol grip and side handle, don't you?
I'm pleasantly surprised. I've never used anything quite.
you can see that the logs don't touch each other. And you'll notice that all of these logs have their grooves and notches scribed. In one log at a time building, the scriber often hits part of the notch that has to be chiseled out of the way. That never happens with accelerated log building. You'll see the fits later. They're perfect. And here's the secret. Here's why accelerated log building works so well. We've scribed the groove and notches, and we can remove the lowest log in the stack. Floor jacks hold the log's weight while you remove the arms. And then we can carefully slide the log out and away from its stack. The log we're moving away is fully scribed. It can either be set aside to be cut later, or you can notch it now. Either way works. The machine's motion is controlled by just 3 buttons at a control panel: up, down, and stop. This synchronizes the motion. The threaded rods that support the arms all turn at the same rate, and all the logs lower at the same time. And so the downward movement is completely synchronized. The logs get lower to the ground, but they all get lower at exactly the same rate. Counters count every turn that the threaded rod feed screw makes. If needed, each machine can be adjusted so the counters all have the same number. Usually these adjustments are very small, less than 1/16 of an inch, less than 2 millimeters. And that was it for a full cycle. Now we start the cycle again by adding a new layer of top logs. And they get positioned on their arms. And here's some of the results. Perfect corner notch fits. A building that is identical to one log at a time. This isn't a chink gap here. This is an underscribe gap. You don't have to underscribe your building. You can use equal scribe settings for the grooves and the notches. And here's the finished shell being reassembled out in the yard. Please contact me for information about training and licenses and getting you started in accelerated log building, the faster, safer way to build handcrafted log buildings, full scribe or chink.